How do you ensure that insights derived from your data products align with your overall business strategy?
Well, first, I think you need to articulate very clearly your business strategy, right? Mm-hmm. So I think the alignment is kind of a cool thing, right? To think about, okay, what am I trying to do? And sometimes clients are trying to do too many things at once, right? Because, like, for example, if you want to grow your client base and you also want to grow your loyalty, you probably need to, at the same time, pursue two different marketing strategies, and they need to be not inconsistent, because you don't want to have a situation, which this is a great example of something that, of course, some companies have done, right? Typically, when you want to win new customers, you offer discounts, right? And typically, when you to get customers come back, the way that you offer the promotions needs to be different, because the offers applied to new customers tend to be more, I would say, more aggressive than the offers that apply to existing customers to win back. It's just also from an ROI standpoint. But if you don't establish the differences and you don't stipulate, oh, this offer is only available for new customers, that seems very basic at this point, but it's in some cases it's not. A lot of the time, instead of getting new customers, what you're achieving is that your existing customers are paying less. So, like, instead of getting a cool ROI for a net new customer acquisition, you're getting a more or less ROI for customers that, in the majority of cases, are now benefiting from lower prices, but they were already loyal to you. And this is, like, helpful to think about as you're establishing as a business, what are the key elements of your business strategy. Like, another example that I have on that disconnect, we had a client that was very interested in understanding their new store location strategy, definitely wanted to grow, open a lot of new locations. And what was happening is that they were not clear if the new locations were bringing in new customers or actually driving a lot of cannibalization and customers actually switching from location to location, probably from not the best optimized location footprint strategy. And so in terms of how do I ensure that my insights from our data products are aligned with the overall business strategy, I think you need to talk to clients and understand what insights that I can derive are most interesting in terms of the business strategies those clients need to put forth. And if there's no match, there's going to be a problem, right? If the insights that I can derive are not answering my clients' needs, then they're not going to find my product relevant, right? And so in some cases, what I can do is, like, I establish high-level trends in which I know that this is always going to be relevant at the macro level. And then when we talk about the micro level, these are the kind of client needs that I'm solving for. And if the client needs to go beyond that, and that's a little bit what we were talking about, in this case, the store cannibalization as an example, it's very specific. It's like, these stores, how do they cannibalize? What about these customers? So I can have a conversation with that client and address that particular thing as a special project. And my product itself is never going to be so niche to address every client need. So it's almost like establishing the guidelines in terms of, like, okay, what are the overall broader questions that I can really answer? And what are the questions that I purposely understand are not going to be part of it? But client, if that is something that you're super excited about, let's discuss it. Let's have a live discussion. It's not going to be a digital solution available to you only. It's a digital solution plus a subscription to special projects. That's an elite package. Do you want to subscribe to that? We can also cover that. So that's a way that you have to answer to those business strategy needs that you ask, but it's not the only way. Ultimately, it starts with the customer and, like, you understanding what they care about. It needs to be something constant.
So obviously, to keep it with the business strategy, I guess you need a strong leadership, because you can get pulled all over the shop. Keep directed, like, there's so much you can be doing. Like, there's so much different parts to a business. So obviously, you need, I guess, have your core objective and make sure you've got the strong leaders that actually keep you on task, because you can easily get sidetracked. I've obviously seen many.
Totally. Also, if you talk always to clients that are niche clients, instead of, like, fully understanding your full scope of clients, you may be optimizing and creating data features that are very not scalable, right? It's like, oh yes, this was only helpful for clients in fuel and C stores, but, like, it doesn't apply to grocery stores to restaurants. It doesn't apply to retailers. Then I invested like a whole set of features that are so narrow in scope that nobody's gonna like them. A very small set of customers will benefit. It's really important to think about that in the way that we build the products. It's like really, to what extent is this really a feature that is extensible, or is it an example?